Hello, it's Layefa. How are you? Let's talk about 5 reasons your hair is not growing. I'm always getting asked in person, how long did it take to grow my hair? What do I put in my hair? What products do I use? Just go and watch my videos because it really isn't that. It really isn't all these things that you're asking me. It really isn't that. I feel like the number one reason your hair isn't growing, and especially if you have my hair type, if it's 4C or type 4, is because you're just not leaving it alone. Just leave it alone. And I don't mean like don't look after it, but practice protective styling. Braid, twists, faux locks, weaves, wigs, whatever it is. Practice protective styling. And I would say challenge yourself. Maybe do a protective style challenge. Maybe I might have to initiate that with you on this channel, but practice it maybe for like a year or a year and a half and just see the difference in the thickness and the length, especially if that's what you want. Number 2, moisture. People get really confused, and even I get a little bit confused with this whole moisture. Are you moisturizing your hair? Are you adding water to your hair? Are you greasing your hair? Are you I get really confused, but if your hair is dry, it will break, right? So it needs to be moisturized, and you have to gauge this. It doesn't have to be every day. Like, I don't moisturize my hair every day. And I think even moisturizing is even in terms of washing your hair. Like if it's a co-wash or you're cleansing your hair, that is moisture because you're adding water to your hair and the cuticles expand. It takes in what it needs and then they close up again. The hair needs that. You need a routine that works for you. What is regular for you? Is it once a week? Is it once a fortnight? Is it once a month? And if you are keeping your hair as long as once a month before you wash it, what are you doing in between? I have a spray bottle. Do I have aloe vera juice, water, some essential oils, and maybe like a tiny bit of leave-in conditioner? And I shake it well. And every time I want to, in some ways it freshens up my scalp. And also just using the right oils, and depending on what hairstyle you have as well, using the right oils and creams on your hair that will actually penetrate in. And it's also important not to overdo it because you want your hair to be moisturized, but it doesn't need to be greasy. So there's a fine balance. I'd love to say I know the balance. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Number 3, I would say trimming. I'm that weird one, but I don't trim regularly. I dust. Some people argue, what is the difference between trimming and dusting? In my mind, this is just me. This is my own theory. When I'm doing a trim, I'm taking off like maybe 1 inch to 2 inches off my hair. Especially if you have kinky coily hair, that can make a huge difference, especially when it shrinks. Like it's like, oh, that's a lot of hair gone. So I like to dust, but I think dusting every 6 to 8 weeks is a good thing. And when I say dust, you're taking like half a centimeter of hair, half a centimeter to a centimeter. So like I'm just going about 5 millimeters to 10 millimeters of hair off the ends, and just taking off all those dead bits. When I do that, what I'm essentially aiming of is just like, I'm not trying to change the length. I'm trying to freshen up my ends every so often so they don't look completely dead when I do have my hair out. It doesn't look completely scatty and eaten away, because obviously when you start to get split ends, it starts to eat up the hair shaft like a ladder, and it just doesn't look good, and the ends of your hair start to look really thin. So trimming, or in my mind dusting, is really good. And the reason why I say every 6 to 8 weeks is because I practice it as if I'm using the way I used to relax my hair. So back in the day when I used to have a relaxer, every time I relaxed my hair, I would get a trim, and my trimming wasn't a trim. My hair was only dusted. So my hairdresser would only take off like half a centimeter to a centimeter off my hair. And if we wanted to do a bit more, then we'd have a discussion about like, do I really want to lose that much length? That's what I can deal with. I say this, but I don't always practice this, but this is what I would advise. Like, if I could be my best self, this is what I would do. And you have to be very careful because you could get very scissor happy. Make sure you're using a pair of hair scissors. Like, this is This is just like a basic type, but these are especially for hair. You've got normal regular scissors, which is like for paper, but when you do that, you could end up creating split ends. And when you have these scissors, keep them only for your hair. Don't use this and let your kids start using it to cut out, I don't know, their cardboard pieces that they're making out of whatever. Patience. You have to be patient. You just have to let it be. Don't think about it, don't time it, don't worry, just let it be patient. Why your hair isn't growing. Water. I think this goes back to the whole moisturizing, but water, making sure that your hair is hydrated, and are you drinking enough water? That is very important. The past sort of 3 weeks, I have been challenging myself to drink a gallon of water a day. Now, this is very extreme, and I'm not doing this for my hair. I'm mostly doing this for my skin and just for better health and whatever. Make sure that you're getting the right amount of water in your system, because not just on top of your head, but also in your body. It could be the way you're styling your hair, because obviously this all goes back to number one about leaving your hair alone and, you know, protective styling and all that stuff. But also the way you're styling your hair could be breaking your hair. Maybe like the tension, pulling your hair too much, leaving your ends out. Certain hairstyles can cause more damage than good. And obviously knowing your hair type, knowing what your hair can take. Your hair might just be too greasy. Your scalp might be too greasy. Oh my God. I feel like those are 5, or have I said 6 tips that I could think of at the top of my head as to, I think, yeah, also we need to take into factor like maybe certain health issues, maybe you're missing something in the nutrients that you're consuming. Different things could be the cause as to why your hair isn't growing. And I think that everybody's hair can grow to whatever length you want. It might just take longer than others or faster than others, and you have to keep in mind your genetics. You know, all of these things play a factor. The weather, the country, the climate that you live in. Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Any other reasons as to why somebody's hair might not be growing, down in the description box. Now, some of you who are gurus in your own right, please share below as to why somebody's hair might not be growing to its full potential. I would love to know, and I'm sure you'd be helping a lot of people. Thank you so much for watching. Until my next video, respect your edges. Bye.